pivot pot or pivot platform. What we're doing is teaching a dog to put 2 front feet on this and to move around it, eventually to stay in the heel position, so that when we make left turns, they understand how to move their rear end independently. So my first job is to build value for putting your 2 front feet on this. The way I do it, different people do it differently, is to mark for getting your feet up. I'm going to be marking with a tongue click because I don't have a clicker on me. And then I throw a reset cookie, and then I mark when they get their feet up, and I throw a reset cookie. Here we go. Cookie. 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 Step 2. Whoops. Step 2 will be building a little bit of duration. So I'm going to feed once and then throw my reset cookie. Cookie. Yeah, that's why we do it that way. Cookie. 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 So for some dogs, they need that racing back and forth to build value for putting their feet up on it. And then what you want to do is gradually create a little bit more duration on it so that they stay on longer and longer. I want the dog to keep its feet on it until I release them or tell them to get the cookie, whatever. And then I'm going to add movement. So I'm going to do those 2 steps right now, but this 3rd step is kind of the most important one. Get it. Cookie. What I want is stillness. I would love eye contact. Good. And I'm now marking for eye contact. She's also 1 step ahead of that. Cookie. And now we're going to add movement. And I'm going to drop cookies. That's the cookie for being up there. I was waiting for her to get square. I wouldn't. This is a lot of steps. I want to click for movement if possible, not stopping. Good. Cookie. Another step, should you want to do it, is to see if the dog can independently move around. I do that this way. Oops, get it. And the other leg. Should you want to do it? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wonderful reinforcement zone behavior and I'm going to put that on the stool and see it, or on the pivot platform, and see if we can get movement in heel position. Notice that I'm doing everything both on the left and the right. I want the dog to be able to, I want them to be, you don't like that, do you? I want them to be ambidextrous, if you will, so that they can go either way. I think it's just better for their bodies. Certainly shows up if there's any physical issues, if you know that they can go both ways. So first, I'm going to have done a whole pile of sit, move into perfect, whoops, sit, Move into perfect heel and reward in heel. Good. And both sides. Sit. I don't care where she sits. I'm just going to come in to perfect heel. Perfect heel means that you should not see my leg beyond her body, really. She's doing a little bit of leg targeting because that's how we heel. Good girl. So now I'm going to take that. I'm going to put that on the pivot pod. Maybe. Cookie. So that you can see what that looks like. My foot, notice it's almost my heel is at the front of the pivot pod. I would be doing that on both sides. Then when that's really good, I'm going to move just a little bit and reward the dog for moving. And move just a little bit and reward the dog for moving. Good girl. Move just a little bit and reward the dog for moving. I missed it because that's easy. Good. My bad. Good. Once the dog is confidently in heel beside you on your pivot pot, the next thing that I do is I lure them off and then see if they can come back into heel position, both sides. From the toy, it's going to. Obviously, we don't have this behavior yet. Good. Great. So I'm just going to lure her off and see if she can come back, which she can, good girl, almost do. If I lure this way, it's easier. Good. If I lure this way, it's easier. That's out of position. Good girl. You can lure this way. Good. And I can lure this way. And I would do it again on both sides. We are just not as confident on this. Oh, here's a nice sit. You're not as confident. It's confident on this side. My reason for not throwing is because it builds too much arousal at this point, and I want a thoughtful dog. I'm waiting to see if she'll, yeah, bring her rear end in. Good job.